This is round 2 of the EZIUP and Go Victorian Hillclimb Championship. I'm here at Bryant Park in your lawn, and I'm taking my 1987 Nissan Skyline GTS-X, aka HR31, for a run on this track through the anti-clockwise figure of 8 layout. This is the start line here. We would head down the hill to a hairpin left, then through a hairpin right, turning left at the top left of the screen. This is my practice run. Just finding my way through these corners because you can't see a lot of the apexes. There's a lot of dips and rises. Approaching this corner, you cannot actually see your braking zone, so these cones on the right hand side are spaced at 25 metres apart. This is the car we're riding in, 1987 Nissan Skyline. It's a RB25 DET engine, so that's a 2.5 litre straight 6 turbo. There's a whole mix of different cars. The fastest cars are obviously the lightest cars, best power to weight ratio. So these open wheels are this on the track. There's some pretty awesome variety of cars as well.
Ready to go!
Probably one of the most unassuming cars is this Honda Accord, which is owned by Carl. It's very quick actually, and really interesting to see on the track.
So worse. That didn't happen today. No, that was ages ago. What's the point?
This beautiful Datsun 240Z S30 has got a single cam L24 and triple Weber carburetors.
Alright, good morning, Just. We're going to be going in 5 minutes or so, can we start seeing some of the people at the pointy ends? Right, not
We'll take a look at this Z later with the bonnet up. I think I mentioned before in a previous video, MX-5s are very popular for hill climbs. They handle so well, they're a good package. Another look at Carl's Honda. It's definitely got some purpose. Reese's Civic. Down to your daily drivers. Let's take a look over to the open wheeler area. This is an outright contender here, 2024 champion. Very serious setups. I don't know a lot of the technical detail on this, so I'm not going to pretend I know, but it's definitely very impressive in terms of the setups they're running here.
The elephant, the go-kart they use.
Gorgeous pipes. This Evo 4 featured in some of the open course. It's a pretty quick car. Renault Meganes are also very quick, and an old Tyre. And Mini, this one also featured in one of the opening clips. They're pretty awesome car. Subaru WRX STI. This STI is set up for asphalt rallying. So it's a pretty purposeful setup. This is one of the outright contenders, a pretty awesome carbon fibre bodied Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Very, very quick. And this one also featured in some of the opening clips. You can tell from the wastegate being so close to venting to the atmosphere that was the noise from those clips. And we are strolling back over to my Skyline with Giotto's Impreza WRX parked beside me. This is probably one of the most interesting cars, I think, because I'm a Datsun nerd. This 160J was built at the Nissan Works Obama in Japan during July 1980, and then it was shipped to New Zealand and entered in the World Rally Championship Round Motorguard Rally. It was driven by George Fury and Monty Suffin. They finished 4th outright. The car was then sent to Australia, and it was entered in Southern Cross Rally for Jeff Bourman and Ross Reynolds. And then during 1981, it was mostly used in the Australian Rally Championship by Ross Duncan and Jeff Beaumont. Then it was sold off at the end of that year into privateer. It's a fantastic restoration on a car that is a works rally car that competed in the World Rally Championship back in the early 80s, 1980 and 81. The owner has made sure to restore everything to its original condition and done his best to source parts that are aligned to the era as well. Let's take a look now at the track as the car goes around it. This is an Audi A4, so through the crossover and then down over into what is called a ship, because you just can't see the road. It drops away from you and you turn right soon after that dip. Coming back over the top there, around through these left-handers, right-handers, and then cutting right through the crossover. That Evo coming back through the crossover to come up to the top of the hill to finish. And we change over to that black carbon fibre bodied Evo. Just finished my third run, and the tyres definitely feel really sticky. They felt as if they gripped well, and you can see that a lot of stones have gripped to them as I've come back through the pits. So all up, the tyres are doing really well. My inner wheel is spinning on corners when I'm accelerating through them though. So I'm not sure if the diff is doing the right thing in terms of slipping on the side that it should slip on, because I had adjusted the springs to give it its maximum amount of reach, if that's what you might call it. And they're not too stiff. People tell me that the rear is actually bogging down as I accelerate, which is what it's supposed to do. This is a 2.5 litre from an R34. It's running a standard everything. R33 turbo, so it's a bit outdated for what this setup should be running. I'm running a fuel pressure regulator. It's got a bigger intercooler, I guess as large as you could fit. Apart from that, And then the larger exhaust, that's what we have in terms of a standard Nissan Skyline. Mixing it with some pretty fast cars like Gerardo's WRX, this DC5. Coming up to one of my last runs of the day. It was a very, very hot day, mid-30s, wind blowing, and obviously we're sweating because we're totally covered and only just with the open face helmet to get some fresh air onto us. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be making more of these videos. The next round is round 3 of the EZIUP and Go Victorian Hillclimb Championship at Mount Lura in Camperdown, which is in central west Victoria. I hope you liked the video, as in give it a like, please subscribe,